Got the keys and all that for me, man. Got everything lined up, man. I got the money and all that. You got what's up?
Put the bread out the bed.
I know you know, Charlie.
I done killed a lot of motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Stop talking so much.
They might be here. I can't start until I know they're not here.
They got some guns, man.
Man, he over there trying to be friends with people. This dude is granny, man.
Who left the rat out the bag?
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Listen, what's up? This that nigga E-Money, BK. Yep, got a story to tell. Listen, tell you some shit happened back in 87, man. Me and my peoples and shit. We on the train. We catch this guy, you know. Nigga got some jewels on and some shit, you know what I mean? Couple chains, watches and shit, you know what I mean? We out there, we grinding back then, 87, you know what I mean? We was out there for real, man, getting it, man. Listen, we yoked the nigga up. The conductor seen us. He stopped the train in the tunnel. Listen, we draped the dude, take everything. I'm talking about everything he had on, stripped him down. This is like about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. Ain't nobody on the train. We on the N train. Prince Street, over there, Spring Street, Canal, all that shit over there, you know what I mean? So listen, conductor stopped the train. Gets on the loudspeaker. If there's a cop on the train, would he please come up to the front of the car? Once I heard that, listen, I breaks out. I'm gone. I tell my man, listen, come on. This nigga over there still trying to get the last little piece of this, that, and the third. I'm like, yo, come on, man. So listen, I broke out. I kept it moving through the back of the cars and shit. I went to the back. As I'm walking to the back, who I passed? The folks coming. You know what I mean? One time. Listen, I kept it moving. They look me up and down. They can't say nothing because they don't know what's what. I kept it moving. Boom. I get to the back of the train. I'm telling this nigga, he coming now. He's scared. I'm like, yo, listen, man, we got to jump off the train. Remember, I told you the train stopped, right? Yeah, listen. I jumped off the train. This nigga got scared, stayed on the train. I broke out, ran outside, jumped up the platform, jumped on the J train, went back to Bushwick. I get to Bushwick, I'm chilling. I'm out on the block, you know what I mean? I done did what I had to do with my little pieces and shit. You know what I mean? Do what I do, yeah? And I go home. It's about 5:30 in the morning. I hear a nigga knocking on my door. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean? You know you done did some shit, you know what I mean? So you know what the fuck is going on. So my mom's and shit, you know how Mom Duking them is. They like, who that? I'm like, Mom, listen, that might be the folks. She like, what the fuck? The folks knocking on my door for? I can't tell her. I just, you know what I mean? Did what I had to do and shit. So boom, she flies the door, let them in. You know, once you fly the door, let the folks in. They just in there now. Boom, listen. Where this nigga at? They just came straight to the back where I was at. I was trying to put my clothes on, stash my shit and shit. You know what I mean? These niggas just came in. Boom, you know what this is. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? So don't even worry, just put your shit on, because niggas already told on you and everything. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Told on me? Told on me about what? Listen, just put your clothes on, don't make this a misunderstanding. So I get dressed, you know me being the corporate type nigga, you know what I mean? I ain't got time to be dealing with these people, you know what I mean? I goes downstairs, who they got in the front seat of the police car? My man. This nigga sitting in the front of the police car. We did some shit in Manhattan, man. I live in BK, man. That's Brooklyn, for some of y'all niggas don't know what BK is now. Listen, man, this nigga that brought the police to my house, man. This is my man I grew up with, supposed to be my brother. This nigga got scared, told the folks where I was at. These niggas came to my house in Brooklyn. They don't know me from a can of paint. They throw me in the car. Who's sitting in the front seat of the car? They put me in. It's 2 police cars. The nigga we robbed sitting in the front seat. I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? I ain't never seen no shit like this, and I've been doing shit 20, 30 years, man. They got the nigga that told on me, the nigga we robbed at my house, man. How that shit happen, man? You know what I mean? What the fuck is going on, man? Let me see.
That's where we at, yo. That's where we at, man. That's where we at, yo.
Who left the rat out the bag?
Yeah, but I got something to tell you though. Some serious business shit, you know what I'm saying? This shit critical right here, man.
I'm gonna talk about a situation back in the days with my so-called man tried to get me robbed and murdered. It was one of my boys that I knew for about 20 years. You know what I'm saying? This kid done knows my kids and all that, you know, knows my mother, I know his mother. So it was a situation where I was buying a store and I went to the bank, he came with me to the bank, I took out money. I'm at the house counting my money, you know what I'm saying, so I could purchase items for the store and so forth and so on. So out the money that I had, he said, yo, let me hold something. Now, there's a grown-ass man with mustache and a beard. What you mean you want to hold something, man? You know what I mean? Like, it didn't make no sense. I said, you know this for my store? He was like, yeah, all right, whatever. So little grimy nigga. I didn't pay no attention to him. So after opening up the store, I always saw a black car in front of my store with 3 guys in it. And for weeks, they was there. I never really stressed it. I kept going up to the car, yo, would y'all like to purchase something or get a haircut, whatever, from the store. They was like, nah, we good, we good. So one day, there was a guy walking down the block that I had known. And this guy, I saved him from getting murdered about in 91. Some guys were going to do something to him, and I stopped it. And he paid homage to that. And I always look at the situation like everything in life happens for a reason. Because the guys that were supposed to rob me, that was in the car, the guy that I saved, that was one of their brothers. And he came and told him like, yo, this guy's a good dude, so forth and so on. So one of the guys that came out the car and said, I want to talk to you. You're a good dude. Thanks a lot for saving my brother. But your man over there, now my man was a little distance away. He didn't hear what we were saying, but he was like, yo, your man, he wanted us to rob you. That's why we've been out here scoping you out and all that. He said that you had a certain amount of money at your house. So the scheme was, when your wife got out the car from work, we was gonna put the gun to your wife's back, bring her upstairs, and he was supposed to be upstairs to buzz him in. So I'm like, what? My wife was pregnant at the time, so my man was trying to get me murdered for a couple $1,000. So he told him, if he goes into the first closet, lay him down, because the money's in his room. I was like, wow, that hurt me so bad. So I was going to do something to the kid. I made a phone call. A couple of the wolves came down. Homeboy caught whim. He caught the whim to the situation. And he jetted. He went whatever. But make a long story short, something had happened to the dude that was trying to get me robbed and murdered. Several months later, I had cut the dude off. So once I cut the dude off, he lost all his power in the hood. So once he's so grimy in the hood, dudes get at you. Not my team. Another team got at him. And when he was in the hospital, he ended up being an informant, telling on everybody. So he could do dirt and try to get people murdered and robbed and all that. But when something, the retaliation, but not from me, from other people come back to you, and you rat, you pussy, kid. And you know who I'm talking about, kid. You pussy.
That's the rat out the bag.
Yeah, how y'all doing, man? My name is KJ, man, you know what I mean? I got a little story to tell, you know? Homeboy basically snitched on me, you know? And homegirl violated also, but you know, when you play that game, man, you gotta take what come with that, man, hold it down, but, you know, both of them didn't do that. So basically, man, back in 96, man, my fiance at the time, man, violated, man. I used to work the graveyard shift. And I came home early from work, you know, about 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, so I go upstairs to my crib, put the key in the door, you know what I mean, open the door, the chain was on the door, you know. So I'm like, all right, you know, that ain't no big deal. You know, she always put the chain, you know, the chain on the door from time to time. But what caught my eye was that the light was on in my apartment and shit, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, what the light doing on, you know? So anyway, so I goes downstairs, you know, to call Shorty, like, yo, listen, man, take the chain off the door, you know, so she never pick up. So I come back upstairs, but this time, it's a brown hat in front of my door. I'm like, yo, hold up, what's this brown hat doing in front of my door? Plus the light was on earlier, so I'm like, yeah, okay, something's popping off up in there. Okay, so meanwhile, Shorty opens the door at that time, like stretching her arms, oh, how you doing? You know, yawning, pretending she waking up from a deep sleep. What you doing home so early? And I'm like, look, bitch, the nigga upstairs, you know what I mean? I know you violated me, you know what I'm saying? Don't even try to play me. So me and her going back and forth, Scrams come down the motherfucking steps, you know what I mean? Like this and shit, you know? He got dreads down his back, nigga got a duffel bag over his shoulder, he got both his hands in his pocket like this and shit, talking about, you know? And I'm like, yo, fam, listen, I'm not fighting over this bitch. If you want her, you can have her. And he like, yo, man, I don't know what you talking about, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay. No problem, you know what I mean? So meanwhile, Shorty is trying to pull me in the apartment so homeboy can escape. So she pulling my shirt. I had a nice little shirt on, you know, Tommy Hilfiger was popping at that time. So that shit cost a little bit of paper. You know, she ripped the shit, you know what I mean? Now, meanwhile, homeboy went down the steps, but I don't know which way he went. I don't know if the nigga drove. I don't know if the nigga took the bus, train, or what. So I just started walking towards the train station and shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I guess I was on point like a motherfucker. So I found this nigga, you know what I mean? So I yelled at him. He was like a block away from me. I was like, yo, I just want to talk to you. He looked back. He was like, yo, man, I told you, I don't know you. I don't know what you're talking about. I said, I just want to ask you a question, man. Was you in my house? Now I know the nigga was in my motherfucking house. You know and I know he was in my house, you know what I'm saying? But fuck that. And he said, yo, I wasn't in your house, man. Now the nigga was only about 5 to 10 feet away from the train. I said, yo, if I gotta get him, I gotta get him now for this nigga get away, you know what I'm saying? So boom, you know, I done blacked out, you know what I'm saying? Nigga blacked out and shit, you know what I mean? And nigga caught it in the leg, you know what I mean? So, long story short, the motherfucker called the police, but I didn't know he called the police. He called the police when he was outside, and I never even knew that shit. You know what I mean? So I went back to the crib like a motherfucking idiot. Police came knocking and shit. Long story short again, man, they didn't call me. But they done took me to the hospital and shit, right? Homeboy laying up in the hospital with his leg up and shit. And they like, yo, is this the dude? He like, yeah, that's him and shit. That's that nigga right there.
Who left the rat out the bag?